Hey, welcome back, Chimera Crew. No, not the Chimera Crew anymore. Now it's the Simeon Squad. I'm not Chimera Miniatures anymore. I'm Mr. Sean Productions. I forgot. Sorry. So guys, yeah, no, it's been a hell of a week. I do apologize for there not being a lesser known lost media, as I had just finished recording and I'd left it to go to work and had intended to finish it when I got back, and apparently at some point the power glitched and it had not auto-saved. So all of that work is gone, becoming lost media in and of itself, but I'll be re-recording it for next week. Normally the piece that I'm doing right now would be like a members exclusive opinion piece, but I wanted to give you guys something considering I failed to upload anything on Friday. And, if you want to know a little bit about my week, it's been a crazy one. So been having some issues at work. Nothing's wrong with my job. It's just we had a coworker that was not pulling their weight, and basically it finally came time that we had to let them go. So what was going on was they were constantly calling off, they were leaving early, they were leaving without telling. Essentially, they were abandoning their job multiple times a week. No notice, nothing like that. So as of yesterday, of the day of recording this, they were officially let go, though it had to be done through email because they were told to come in for a meeting and didn't. So, basically, another one of my coworkers in a team that is essentially 3 people is on vacation this week, or was on vacation, I guess, this week. He'll be back. At the time of recording, he'll be back on Monday. So, there's been a lot more of a workload for me. That's not really, though, the bad part of it. Yesterday I was all by myself in my department, but it was fine. I realized the big cause of stress for me was not the workload, but rather someone who was, even if they were there, they weren't pulling their weight, and it just really offended me that they were getting paid to do nothing. It's like if there's 2 people at a job, and if one of those people just ceased existing, so to speak, the same amount of work would get done. Why do you need that second person there? You don't, because they're dead weight. But yeah, so that was, Friday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. I was basically by myself, so that was kind of exhausting. There was a lot to do over the Mother's Day weekend. I spent time with the family, but it's like, I need this weekend that I'm about to have just to recover from last week and last weekend and this week. So it is what it is, guys, But also, I reopened my Etsy store. Not a lot on there yet. I actually have been playing around with some AI art generation and then taking the base image and doing some editing in I don't use Photoshop. I use GIMP. But right now on my Etsy shop, link in the description, there are 2 prints available. They're very large, high quality prints. Both of the spicy variety, one of a female version of Cthulhu in the style of the Mona Lisa, called the Mona Cthulhu, which features very similar in design to the Mona Lisa, except that it's female Cthulhu without a top on. If that's your thing. And then there's one called The Queen in Yellow, which, similar vibes to Mona Cthulhu, but that's for fans of The King in Yellow. So I'm also going to be posting some of my minis up there for sale. I might even be doing some of my, I got to see how it works. I haven't done Etsy in a while, but I might even be posting some of my scenarios for sale if you want to download the PDF off of Etsy, rather than, say, Drive-Thru RPG. I got to look into the legality of that, but I may be doing that. So yeah, there's an Etsy store now. There'll be a link in the description. What are we going to talk about today? Well, I was cleaning the house with my wife because we had D&D coming up, and so we just kind of put on one of her book talk people that she likes to listen to, and this person was reading a blog post of author Patrick Rothfuss, and this was from 2012. But I knew Patrick Rothfuss from Critical Role when he guest starred on that. I've not read his books, but I'll be honest, I know a lot of people were really excited back then that he did this. I never really cared for the man. I thought he was kind of dry. I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy his guest starring on there. I didn't think anything ill of him as a person at the time. I did see a Choosing Beggars post that actually came from him in one of my previous videos. We covered it, where he's essentially asking someone to run his life for him for minimum wage, which I thought was really funny for, a successful author. But this video that I watched with my wife while we were cleaning was all about him. He's a giant nice guy. And there was a weird thing where he's trying to talk about his trepidation of the upcoming Hobbit live adaptation, and goes on this absolute nice guy rant. So today I figured I actually found the blog post, and I'm going to read it with you guys. And I'm going to give my thoughts, because my jaw was on the floor on this one, guys. Like, Rothfuss actually does claim to be a feminist, which, again, I think is a term that gets thrown around in the wrong way. Like, and even people who don't use it don't really understand what it means. I used to say, I'm not a feminist, I'm an equalist. I think everyone should be equal. And then I come to find out that's actually what feminism is. It's just wanting men and women to be equal. But, some of Rothfuss's, interviews lately, and some of his, some of his work shows that he's not really as much of a feminist, or, in my own words, equalist, as he claims. And some of his stuff is just unhinged. And let's dive today. All right, let's do that. So yeah, this was off of his blog, blog.patrickrothfuss.com. It was from February 19th of 2012, and it was called Concerning Hobbit's Love and Movie Adaptations. And it begins: so the other day, a friend forwarded me a link to the very first ever film adaptation of The Hobbit. It's only about 10 minutes long, and worth your time. I'm embedding it here as an example of why I'm extremely leery of anyone ever making a movie out of The Name of the Wind, which, if you don't know, is his book. I've not read it. So there is a link to the video and all that. But he goes, after that, he's like, isn't that an absolute trip? They added a princess to the story and everything. Now, it turns out there are good reasons for why this adaptation was bizarrely short and startlingly off script, but rather than summarize them, I'll just link over to a post where the guy that made the film explains why it turned out the way it did. It's actually a really interesting story. After watching it on YouTube, I saw a link that followed it over to the watch trailer for the Hobbit movie, and again he links the trailer there. I won't deny that I got a bit of a tingle watching it, but honestly, my response was half tingle, half anticipatory dread. Alright, so far we're not really in any of unhinged territory, but I'll be honest, anybody who gets a anticipatory dread because you're afraid your book movie adaptation isn't going to be as good as the book, well, what are you expecting? I mean, again, they make different media for different people, guys, and if you're definitely the book is better than the movie type person, which you're not really wrong in most cases, I would say. I definitely would say films like Jaws and Jurassic Park are actually better than their book versions, but, it is what it is. But, also the word tingle is a little cringe. But a dread tingle, or dringle, if you prefer. Even more cringe, I guess. You see, the first video I posted up there was bad enough to be good in a funny train wreck sort of way. But the trailer makes me think that the Hobbit movie is going to be good enough that big pieces of it will make me want to vomit pure bile. Really? Really, Pat? Okay. But Pat, I hear you say, why the concern? The Lord of the Rings movies were good. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were good movies. I won't argue that. They were also moderately okay adaptation of the books. And yes, I'm aware that referring to something as moderately okay is the very definition of damning with faint praise. I don't know, this guy, I mean, somehow he's using more verbiage and all that. It's still, I don't know, he still has this very dry delivery that I'm not a fan of. I don't know, I think he's trying to be funny. I don't know. Let's keep going. Without going into any detail, that would be a whole separate blog's worth of post. I don't know, man, you're pretty wordy. You might enjoy having a double blog post. My main problem with the Jackson adaptations is that they lose the subtlety of the original stories. It's like this. Tolkien's books were full of subtle tension, drama, action, good characters, and a world of startling and immersive richness. Jackson's adaptations had some brilliant action scenes, great special effects, some pointless action scenes, drama, melodrama, a lot of panoramic cinematography, good casting, and an inexplicably Scottish dwarf with all the character depth of a Disney animal sidekick. Okay, I'd get really tired of people giving things crap for dwarves being Scottish. It all comes from the fact that yes, they are Norse in origin, but the Norse language sounds a little funny and not the gruff language people associate with dwarves. If fantasy dwarves are Scottish, Patrick, get over it. I remember going to see The Return of the King. I mean, I went to see all three of them in the theaters, but I specifically remember going to The Return of the King with my cousin, and when we were walking out, he goes, "Wow, that's the best movie I've ever seen." So, they were good movies. He's a film snob too, my cousin. So, the fact that he said that was high praise. So I'll say it again. Good movies. Ah, hell, I'll even admit it. They were great movies, just for the fight scene with the rock troll in Moria, but only moderately okay adaptations. In the Hobbit trailer, I see the same thing happening. The Hobbit was a lighthearted story about a slightly bumbling average Joe who goes off on an adventure and discovers hidden resources inside himself. Spoiler alert, it was fun. If the book came out today, its publishers would probably market it as YA. Which, to be fair, I believe that Tolkien wrote The Hobbit as a story for his children, so yeah. While it had action and drama, it was not an action-packed Hollywood-style drama-palooza where Gandalf and Galadriel have emo makeouts. Well, I mean, I don't believe they had emo makeouts in the Hobbit movie either, but again, this I think came out before the movie did, so, But again, different media formats made for different audiences, okay? Like, I get it. If the book and the movie are always going to be different. And guys, this season hasn't even started to go off the rails yet, but I'm already just like, wow, really? Just enjoy a movie, dude. I can tell in my bones that the movie is going to be chock full of scenes that were never in the original story. I'm not talking about a little extra dialogue here and there. I'm talking about completely invented cutaway scenes that stuff more action in and subplots that were only barely alluded to in the book. My off-the-cuff prediction, at least 20 minutes worth. Well, we actually got like 2 whole extra movies worth, but, it will be a good movie. Maybe even a great movie, but will also be, at best, a moderately okay adaptation of the subtle, sweet book that I grew up loving. Okay, guys, so far it's just, he's definitely, I'm criticizing the man for his delivery, and I don't like how he writes. I just don't. It's not hitting a chord with me. But so far, it's been a normal, I think the book's going to be better than the movie type thing that a lot of people have. Nothing really weird here. But now is the point where this gets off the rails. And as the YouTuber I was watching was reading this, my jaw hit the floor. And please note, everything I'm reading is word for word from his blog, and my opinions are just that, my opinion. But it's gonna get weird. So, let's keep going. You know that it's going to be like wandering onto an internet porn site and seeing a video of a girl I had a crush on in high school. You probably knew someone like her. The smart girl, the shy girl, the one who wore glasses and was a little socially awkward, the one who screwed up the curve in chemistry so you got an A- instead of an A. This is really, really specific, guys. I don't think this is a hypothetical, in my opinion. She was a geek girl before anybody knew what a geek girl was, and that was kinda awesome because you were a geek boy before being a geek was culturally acceptable. You liked her because she was funny, and she was smart, and you could actually talk to her, and she read books. Books were bolded in that statement. And sure, she was girl-shaped, and that was cool, and she was cute in an understated, freckly way, and sometimes you'd stare at her breasts when you were supposed to be paying attention in biology, but you were 16. You stared at everyone's breasts back then. Again, this is so specific. Like this, he wants this to be a hypothetical. This is something that I believe actually happened to this man. And yeah, you had some fantasies about her, because again, you were 16. But they were fairly modest fantasies about making out in the back of a car. Maybe you'd get to second base. Maybe you could steal third if you were lucky. And maybe, just maybe, something delightful and terrifying might happen. And yeah, it would probably be awkward and fumbling at times, but that's okay, because she'd be doing half the fumbling too, because the only experience either one of you had was from books, and afterwards, if you make a Star Wars joke, you know she'll get it, and she'll laugh. So, what's your post-coitus Star Wars joke, Patrick? What are, would you tell her she was definitely the droid you were looking for? I don't know. What's the, or would she have to tell you that you were a little big for a stormtrooper? Which one are we going with here? That's the girl you fell in love with in high school. You didn't have a crush on her because she was some simmering pool of molten sex. You loved her because she was subtle and sweet and smart and special. The YouTuber I watched made a point of how many S words he just used. And yeah, I also agree that was done deliberately, but I don't know what it was trying to accomplish because I don't feel like it accomplished anything. So you stroll onto this porn site. Oh good, we're back to the porn site. See, I thought we were talking about Hobbit movies, and then you started talking about porn, and then you went on a rant, and now we're back to the porn site, guys, alright? You've gotten us back out of the Shire, we're back to Mordor, it's okay. So you stroll onto this porn site, and there she is. Except now she's wearing a thong and a black leather halter top. She's wearing fuck me red lipstick and a lot of dark eye makeup. Her breasts are amazing now, proud and perfectly round. I've never referred to breasts as proud. I don't really know what that means. Does he mean perky? I don't know. But apparently they're perfectly round, and that's what, if you want to know what kind of boobs Patrick Rothfuss is into, it's proud and perfectly round. Someone's taught her to dance, and she does it well. She's flexible and tan. She has a flat midriff and walks like a high-class Vegas stripper. Her eyes are dark and smoldering. She has a riding crop, and she likes to be tied up, and her too red mouth forms a perfect circle as she sighs and moans and tosses her head in a performance designed to win any number of Academy Awards. I feel like we're learning more about what type of adult entertainment Patrick Rothfuss likes than we're learning about any point he's trying to make in all of this. And what's the problem with this? Well, in some ways nothing. What you've found is perfectly good porn. Maybe even great porn. Yeah, Patrick, I get it. You enjoy porn. Honestly, who doesn't? But is there a point to all this, dude? But in other ways, the problem is blindingly obvious. The girl has nothing in common with your high school crush except for her social security number. Everything you loved about her is gone. I don't know, I think she's still girl-shaped. We loved the sweet, shy, freckly girl. We still remember her name, and after all these years, she lives close to our heart. Seeing her in lipstick and stiletto heels dancing on a pole is like watching Winnie the Pooh do heroin and then glass someone in a bar fight. Oh, by which you mean awesome, because I'd watch the heck out of that. It just isn't something that I look forward to seeing. And then he has a weird, graphic, like a weird, like a comic strip of essentially him awkwardly at a strip club with a hobbit dancing at a pole and thrusting at him while he is very awkward. That's a bit much. And now that's how I'm going to feel when I watch The Hobbit. I'll be 1 part entertained, 2 parts nostalgic, 2 parts irritated, 3 parts outraged, and 1 part oddly titillated. So that's 1, 2, 2 is 3, 2 is 5, 3 is 8, 1. So that's 9 parts of things that he is. Let me do my math here. 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. So So yeah, it's 9. Are you? Why are there only 9 parts to you, sir? If you're going with this scale, I think you'd maybe go with like base 10, but who knows? Okay. And I'll watch it, and I'll enjoy it, and afterwards I'll go home and feel more than slightly sad. Patrick. So yes, apparently them making movies of a fantasy series of books that Patrick Rothfuss liked is akin to this very specific instance where he went to a porn site and was disappointed that he knew the porn star. I would love to be able to ask Patrick Rothfuss if the song Centerfold was playing while he wrote this blog post. Like, was this... I still 100% believe this was an actual thing that happened to him, but I want to know, was it? Or was it inspired because you were like, I need to write a blog post, and then Centerfold by the Jay Giles Band came on, and he was like, oh yeah, that's a good topic. I'll compare. But you know, the guy in that song was really happy to see the girl he liked, and get to see her naked, so to speak. I mean, yes, the line goes, my blood runs cold, my memory has just been soiled, my angel is a centerfold, but there's a lot of subtext about how he's like, oh hell yeah. So, that's the, I'm sorry, Centerfold by Jay Giles Band. But again, this is so funny to me because it's such a weird nice guy tangent to go off on when talking about how you don't think the Hobbit movies will be as good as a book. Like getting rid of all the anti-feminist sentiments. Like, we're not even going to talk about that, but it's like, dude, all right, so you knew a girl in high school. She was a nerdy girl. She was the girl that talked to you. You were like, oh my God, she's the girl that could have been, the one that got away. And then as a grown man, I think he would have been in his 40s when he wrote this post, but who knows when he stumbled upon this porn site. But the thing is, he now sees this now adult girl that apparently still looks similar enough to how she looked that you could recognize her. But she's now it sounds like a BDSM porn star, and no shame in that at all, but apparently you were the one going to the website. Like, you went there looking for BDSM style adult material, and so apparently it's not the style that bothers you, it's the fact that you like your porn to involve, you don't like to know the person on screen. Apparently that makes it weird for you. And it's not like, oh, this is my really good friend who I see no, it's just someone you've met once, and then it's like, or not once, but like someone you knew once upon a time, and now I don't know, despite the fact that you did fantasize about her once, now you don't want to separate, you want to separate those fantasies. Like, no, I want her to forever be that innocent nerd girl who didn't know how pretty she was, and I could have shown her with my penis. But now she's, getting it from some Johnny Hung stud in a professional manner, hopefully in a respectably professional manner. All right, Johnny Hung studs, they gotta, it's a job. You gotta do it right, and make sure no OSHA violations or anything like that. But just apparently that just ruined it for old Patty Boy here, to the point that it still lives rent-free in his head, despite that he's a successful author and, has, I assume, a wife, and I think he has kids too. It's like, you're a completely successful adult, but the fact that the nerd girl that you really wish you could have lost your V card with in the back of a car in high school is now taking dick professionally just ruins anything for you. It's like, people grow up, people change, people explore, they learn and embrace their sexualities, Patrick. And I'm sorry that, I'm sorry that this event happened to you and scarred you so deeply. And I'm certainly sorry that it affected you so deeply that you decide to compare slightly disappointing Hobbit movies to it in such vivid detail so many years later. All right, like, this is just unhinged. Like, I'm not even going into his anti-feminist thing that the video that I saw was about. I just think this is one of the most unhinged blog posts that I've ever read. And that's going to be the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. So I'll be coming out with a couple more videos next week. Again, I'm not doing this. This would have typically been the member exclusive video, but as a sorry for not having Friday's video, this is available to everyone. If you like this kind of video where I kind of do an opinion piece, please do consider joining either here as a YouTube member or over on Patreon, because again, you can get all of these videos that I'll make in the future that will be member exclusives for just $1 a month. And that's really not so bad. You know, it's, what do they say on the Feed the Children commercials? The price of a cup of coffee. You can have Mr. Sean Productions videos right at the palm of your hand. So until next time, guys, again, let me, since I missed Friday's video, thank you so much, J-Dog, for your constant support. J-Dog is part of the $10 tier member over on Patreon. If you'd like to get your name shouted out, like J-Dog, you can join that as well. Other tiers will also get your name in a scrolling list at the end of the videos. Also be sure, like, comment, subscribe, check the links. I sell things on eBay, Mercari, and now even Etsy, and Drive-Thru RPG. I'm still working on the Withering Rhyme, which is already longer than Simeon's Lament, which was my novice Call of Cthulhu endeavor. So the Withering Rhyme is going to be, I'm really hoping, I'm putting a lot of effort into this thing, little by little each day. It gets a little bit more complete, and it's still only going to be about $5 when it releases, but it's going to be good if you're into Call of Cthulhu. I really hope you'll give the Withering Rhyme a chance when it comes out, and until then, guys, I'm Mr. Sean. This is Mr. Sean Productions, and I sincerely hope that you alpha great day and an even beta tomorrow. Bye-bye.